Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another G Crypto video. I'm your host Seth, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the best cards from the War, Nature, Magic, and Neutral domains from the recent Mortal Judgment expansion. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the video. I'm Seth. So before we get started, do me a favor, right? Do the stuff if you could. Please go down, like, subscribe. Everything helps out. Hit the notification bell if you want to hear more of me fucking yammering on about this game. But appreciate you very much. Thank you for doing that. All right, guys. So Mortal Judgment, I think that by the time this video releases, Mortal Judgment will have dropped. It's coming Tuesday, April 19th, and it's awesome. There's different cards for all of the domains, including neutral. There's also going to be some new mechanics that are introduced, some new keywords, and I am very excited because I think it's going to completely change the meta. I did a part 1 of this video that you can find somewhere up here where I went over light, death, and deception and the new cards that were going to be added to those domains, and more specifically the top 5 or so that I thought were coming to that domain. Obviously there's tons of cards that are coming, but not all cards are created equal, as we all well know. So in today's video I wanted to talk War, Nature, Magic, and Neutral, and there's great cards coming to all of the domains like I said, but I just couldn't get them all into one video, so this is part 2, probably coming a day or two after the expansion has actually been released. So hopefully I'll be able to throw some footage in of some of these cards being used, but if I don't, well, you know, whatever. So let's go ahead and dive into number 1, which is War. Now, War is an awesome domain, and it's getting even better with these new additions. So the first card that I think is one of the better cards that's dropping in this new expansion is I don't know how you say it, Lykaios Postulate. It's a 1 mana cost 2/2 creature with Empower 2, so basically you can spend a 2 additional mana to give it +1/+1 and make it a 3 mana cost 3/3 card. Now the reason I think that this is so good is because it's so versatile, right? You can spend 3 mana to get a 3/3, or you can spend 1 mana to get a 2/2. And I think that that's pretty solid overall. Again, just the versatility and the fact that you can sort of adjust the summoning costs according to whatever mana you have available makes it really, really good. The next card that I have is just a 1 mana cost spell, which is pretty rare in the War decks, that allows you to deal 2 damage. The other thing that's really good about it is with Empower 2, you can also deal 1 damage to each other creatures, which is again very good because it just adds versatility and it lets you determine how you're going to use the card. Plus, a 1 mana cost 2 damage card is a great card to have. So I think this is going to be one of the better ones and one we're going to see used a lot. Next up, also at 1 mana cost, we have the Fox's Venture. Now the Fox's Venture gives Tempt Fate to a creature in your hand, and for Empower 2, you can also give that creature +3/+2. So for 1 mana cost, you can give Tempt Fate, or for 3 mana cost, you can give it Tempt Fate and +3/+2, which is a very significant buff to a single creature, especially if it's something like, you know, a Thunder Caller or something like that, which is a 3 mana cost card. Suddenly we have a creature that's only 3 mana cost that has 5/4 and gets +1/+1 if you're frenzied at the end of each of your turns, and it has Tempt Fate, which allows it to buff itself probably and some other cards. So that's why I think the Fox's Venture is such a great card and one of the better ones we'll see a lot of. Next up on the list, at 3 mana cost, we have the Ironborn Disruptor. So what this card does is after this creature attacks a god, your opponent discards a random creature from their hand with mana cost 3 or less. This is such a good control card and a way to get your opponent to have to discard creatures from their hand that is so effective. And part of the reason why I think this card is great is because it's 3 mana cost 2/4 health, which means it can survive for a couple of rounds. So you can get this card out relatively early, hopefully before your opponent has something with frontline out in front, so you can attack the god and get your opponent to start discarding the creatures that are in their hand. So I think this is going to be a great card, and plus with the ability to buff and give, you know, protected plus strength, all of those things, I think that Ironborn Disruptor is going to be a very common one that we see a lot of, and is going to be a really effective discard strategy for War. So that wraps it up for War, guys, and brings us on to Magic. So the first card for Magic is a 1 mana cost spell called Surpassing Blast. What it does is 1 mana cost, deal 2 damage, or if you Empower 3, you deal 4 damage instead. So you either get 2 damage for 1 mana or 4 damage for 4 mana. And again, I just think that it's really cool that you're able to empower this card. So for 1 mana, like the fact that you can add that versatility and make this card whatever you need it to be is really, really good. Next up at 2 mana, we have the Theoretical Thaumaturge. So this card has Echo, which is cool. And then as an afterlife, you deal 3 damage to the enemy creature with the most health, which I think is really good. Just as a great afterlife, right? Plus you get the echo, so you're gonna get some form of buff probably, maybe a spell boost with this card, and it's only 2 mana cost, which I really, really like. So if you have 3 mana, you know, on your second turn even, if you use a bag, you can use this, plus it's whatever the echo is, and I still don't know fully how echo is going to work and if it's always the same or what have you, but I really like the fact that, you know, you have this opportunity, and dealing 3 damage to the enemy creature with the most health is a pretty significant afterlife. So I think this card is really great. Next up at 4 mana cost, we have the Stoic Shield Ward. This one I'm still not certain of. It made the list, but I might be wrong. I think that the echo is going to be very interesting, and just the ability it has as a roar. So it's a 4 mana cost, 4/4 creature with echo, and as its roar, it gives backline to a friendly creature. Giving backline to a friendly creature can be really helpful, especially with Magic, because some of those creatures you don't necessarily want them to be the target of attacks right out of the gate. There are so many cards in Magic that, you know, you need to keep on the field. So giving the backline just increases that survivability, and I think that's why I think rather this card is a pretty solid pickup. Next up, at 3 mana cost, we have Crackling Bolt. Crackling Bolt, deal 3 damage to a creature, or if you empower 2 and bring it up to 5 mana cost, you deal 8 damage instead. 5 mana for 8 damage is a ton. Like, I mean, even Epiphany is 6 mana and only does 6. So with Crackling Bolt, 3 damage to a creature for 3 mana, or you spend 5 mana to get 8 damage. That is a damn good card, and the highest damaging spell that is in Magic currently, as I know. And then you throw a spell boost on top of that, right? Spell boost 1, spell boost 2, like that's a Burnished Bull off the field. That's a Cyclops Defender off the field, all for 5 mana. So really solid card. And plus again, you just have that added versatility of being able to do 3 for 3 mana or 8 for 5. So awesome card. I think this is going to be one of the most popular spells we see moving forward. And finally, one of the legendary drops in the expansion, Nithos Mage Weaver. 1 mana cost, 1/2, with an ability to unlock a mana lock for this turn, then refresh 1 mana. And if you empower 2, you deal 2 damage to the weakest enemy creature. So basically what that means is with its ability, you can either unlock a mana lock and refresh 1 mana, or you spend 3 mana to deal 2 damage to the weakest enemy creature. I think that that's an awesome, awesome versatility and lots of options here, which is just fantastic. That wraps it up for Nature, you guys. There's lots of good cards in Nature, and brings us to Nature. Now, Nature, honestly, I think Nature got the best ones. I couldn't select just 5 cards because there's so many good ones, in my opinion, that are coming into the Nature deck, and I can't help but think that these are awesome cards. So first up, we have the Hibernating Ursine. 7 mana cost, 8/8 creature, but at the end of your turn, if this creature hasn't attacked this turn, heal it to full health. That's basically, I mean, yeah, you have to take an extra turn, but the fact that you can just not attack for 1 turn and get all of its health back, all the way up to 8 health, is really solid. And then plus, you know, it's a wild creature, and there's all of the cards that exist in Nature to give regen to wild creatures, to buff wild creatures. I mean, this thing, and it doesn't say heal at 8, it says heal it to full health. Meaning if you're able to boost it with something like Firewine or Wildfire, I mean, I think we're gonna see a lot of these, and I think it's gonna be a really solid card. You know, it's a high drop, right? 7 mana, but a damn good one. Right over here next to it, we have the Penumbra Howler, or if you control 2 or more other wild creatures, give them +1 strength. So for 1 mana cost, you have a 2/1 wild creature that hits the field, and you get your other wild creatures, all of them, +1 strength. Awesome card, awesome 1 mana cost card. Like, why would you not take this? It's a good card. Next up at 4 mana cost, we have the Barksworn Hunter. 4 mana cost, 2/3 creature with Echo, and as its roar, it gives +2 strength to this creature, and it attacks a random enemy character. So if you got to get something off the board, summon this. 4 mana cost, you got suddenly a 4/3 creature, and you can attack an enemy creature, hopefully get it off the board. Plus, it has Echo, so probably something else, some other buff that can go on there. Awesome card, in my opinion, and I think we'll see a lot of it too. Plus, it's an Amazon, so stacks really well with a lot of, Archimonian Onslaught and all the awesome Amazon cards. I did a whole Amazon Aggro Nature deck video that you can check out over here, which is gonna get some changes after I pick up some of these cards. Next up, also another Amazon, you have the Agrador Border Guard. 3 mana cost, 2/4 creature with Frontline, and at the end of your turn, heal a damaged friendly creature for 1. Just the fact that you can heal a friendly damaged creature, huge. plus frontline 2/4, pretty solid survivability there, all for 3 mana cost, and you can just keep things on the board a lot longer. So I think this is a really good card. Also, we have the Vexing Rascal, 2 mana cost, 1/3 creature with regen 1, and when this creature is healed, deal 2 damage to the weakest enemy creature. So like, if you were to stack these 2 cards, Aggrador the Border Guard and Vexing Rascal, suddenly you're dealing 2 damage all the time to the weakest enemy creature, basically every turn. So awesome way, and you can stack it in other ways as well, but awesome card, Vexing Rascal, Aggrador Border Guard, both great pickups. Next we have the Loam Strider, 2 mana cost, 0 attack, 4 health creature with frontline and regen 1, but you give +1 strength to this creature after it is healed. So again, there's other opportunities, you know, I feel like with this, you could start using a lot of the Sudden Bloom or whatever it is, or Flourish, the God's, Aura, whatever the fuck her name is, the Nature God's ability to heal. So, you know, for 1 mana, you can heal 1, and if you get one of these out in the field, you know, plus, like, you can quickly get this card up there for 2 mana cost, you know, and a couple of heals here and there. You can get this card up there pretty quick, and it has regen 1, and it's a wild creature, so stacks with all those amazing buffs for nature. So that's why I think this is a really good card. At 5 mana cost, you have Pack Succession. That's one of the other it's a spell, and you summon a random 5 mana wild creature. It attacks the strongest enemy creature, and if your creature dies, you summon that creature again. So it's crazy. Like, you get, for 5 mana cost, you get a 5 mana wild creature. It immediately attacks, and then if it dies, you summon it right back, which is awesome. So you can board wipe something, right, with a really high attack bonus, and then immediately summon that creature again. It's double the money. I mean, I think it's an awesome card. And there's a lot of good 5 mana wild creatures. I think like the Silverback is one, Escape Silverback is one. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. So awesome card in my opinion, and one I think we'll see a lot. At 4 mana cost, we also have the Warrior of Paradise. As you can see, guys, like, nature has a lot, and there's even more good ones in here. But 4 mana cost, Warrior of Paradise has Blitz. So 4 mana cost, 3/3 creature, Blitz. After this creature attacks, give +2 strength to a random other friendly creature, and that's after it attacks. So if it attacks a god, +2 strength to another creature. If it attacks, you know, something with 0 health or something with only 1, +2. I mean, you could, odds are you can get an extra 4 strength to another creature out of this card. And it has Blitz, so you can do it right away, straight out of the gate on its own turn. So awesome card. I think we're gonna see a lot of these, and it's an Amazon. So again, Archimonian Onslaught, all the great Amazon buffs you can do. Pet Legion Warrior. There's so many different ones that you could do on here. Another spell at 2 mana cost, Plan the Hunt. You heal each friendly creature for 2 and give them hidden for 1 turn. Now this stacks, like I said, with the Loam Strider, with a lot of these other cards that, you know, when things get healed, you get to add certain buffs or whatever. So, I mean, this is huge. Heal each friendly creature for 2 and give them hidden for 1 turn. So, you know, you're able to, like, maybe do some damage, you get a bunch of creatures out there, you know, use some attacks, and then, you know, maybe your creatures are all a little bit hurt, but you're able to wipe the board. You drop a Plan the Hunt, heal all of them for 2, give them hidden, spells can't hit them, attacks can't hit them. I mean, it's pretty good. It's a very good card, in my opinion. Another spell that's coming to nature, lots of good spells for nature, but at 5 mana cost, United Reinforcements, you give 2 of the following to each of your Amazon and wild creatures. So I think we're going to see a lot. I mean, between the Amazons here, the wilds here, and maybe something like this, I think we can see, expect to see rather, a lot of interesting Amazon wild creature hybrid decks. But give 2 of the following to each of your Amazon and wild creatures: +2 strength, +1/+1, or +1 health, and then heal them for 2. Which, I mean, so this is just, you can give +3 strength and +1 health to everything. You can give +2 health and heal them for 2. Just the options there, really awesome card, and I think we'll see a lot of it. And finally, arguably, in my opinion, the best card that's coming to nature, Silk Spite. First of all, awesome fucking artwork, legendary card. After a creature is healed, now again, we see this after a creature is healed. I think we're going to see a lot more Flourish or Sudden Bloom or whatever it's called. No, that's a card, but you know what I mean, the healing power of Aeona. But we're going to see after a creature's healed and Roar, so when it enters the field and after a creature is field, you summon a 1/1 Noxious Arachne with Deadly. It then performs an extra attack on a random ballot target. So, I mean, that's just crazy. You can immediately just summon as an ability, or rather, after you can heal a creature, get a Noxious Arachne with Deadly, it immediately attacks, wipes something from the board. Fucking nuts. And 5 mana cost, 3/3 wild creature. Just awesome synergy with a lot of the different abilities for nature, and that is the last and, in my opinion, arguably the best card that is coming in nature. I think this is going to be an awesome card and going to be worth a lot of money. Plus, also, great name. Silk Spite, fucking mint. Alright guys, so that wraps up Nature, War, and Magic and brings us into the neutral cards that are going to be available for every deck. And I gotta warn you, some of these are fucking busted. This is another one where I couldn't limit it to 5 cards. I had to choose more, and I could have easily gone with more because some of these are, man, I don't know, this is gonna be wild. And it's with how some of these I think are gonna combo with some of the existing decks, it's gonna be bananas. But first up, we have one of my favorite cards from this, which is the Lootable Corpse. 1 mana cost, 1/1 creature, awesome artwork, with the afterlife of randomly give +2 strength to a friendly creature. So 1 mana cost, 1/1 card, and as soon as it dies, you get +2 strength to one of your other creatures. Awesome card. And as a neutral card, that's crazy, because you can pair it with War, you can pair it with Light, you can pair it with this, I mean, it goes in any deck. So just the fact that suddenly you have +2 strength to a friendly creature as afterlife is pretty nuts. And I mean, if you only have, like, with these random things, you know, it's kind of tough sometimes, because if you have if you have a full board, you never know. But it's very easy to, with just like the way that you time cards and the way that you place things, it's pretty easy to make sure it goes to the creature you want it to go to. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how well this does. Next up, we have at 7 mana cost, Helmna the Spear of Life. This card is pretty fucking busted. Legendary card, so it's going to be pretty rare, but 7 mana cost, 2/9 Viking. Has frontline, and after a friendly character is healed, this creature gains strength equal to the amount healed. And then on top of that has a roar where each friendly character is healed for 3. So when it hits the board, all friendly characters are healed for 3. I'm assuming that, I don't think she would probably benefit from the immediate healing, but just like the way that this can stack with Light especially, and maybe Nature, is fucking bonkers. Because I mean, I don't know, it's gonna be nuts, because you can heal this card, right? Because it's after a friendly creature, which she is, so you can heal her and she gains strength. So for 2 mana cost with your heal god ability from Light, you can give +2/+2 to this creature all the time. And then if you have a Radiant Spirit up, that's more. And then if you do Holy, this is gonna be nuts. It's gonna be fucking crazy. I think that Light decks are gonna have this, and I don't know, man. It's gonna be wild. Next up, you have another busted ass card. Now, granted, this is a 9-drop, so who knows, but Cadence of the Infinite Sands. 9 mana drop, 9/9 card with an ability, unlock a mana lock, refresh 9 mana, draw a card, and your creatures gain God Blitz and Twin Strike. What the fuck is this? What is this card? Refresh 9 mana? You get 2 turns? You get 2 turns. 2 full fucking turns. I don't know, man. If this hits the field, I feel like it's fucking over. It's fucking over. How do you beat this? How do you beat this thing? 2 turns. Crazy. After that busted mess, we have Dolvaz, Omen of Ill Will. 3 mana cost rather, 1/1 Nether creature. At the start of your turn, double this creature's strength and health. And then Afterlife, pull this creature to your hand and set its strength and health to 1. So you can just keep doing it. Only way to get rid of it? Obliterate it. What is this? It's a legendary card, so who knows how often it'll come up. A lot of these are legendaries, but fuck, some of these are busted. Like, that's crazy. Double? That means 3 turns in, this thing's got 4/4. 4 turns in, 8/8. If you can keep it on the board for 5 turns, which with 3 mana, at 3 mana cost, not that hard. 5 turns, you got a 16/16 creature on the board. That's fucking insane for 3 mana cost. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. You put this in a Deception deck where you can, and give it hidden so that it can't be targeted by spells or attacks. Oof. Oof. It's just got to survive one. It's just got to survive 1 round. Ah, man. Can't believe that. After that, also busted mess, we have another busted mess. 4 mana cost, 1/3 structure, the Pools of Nemesis. Ability, summon a copy of a creature. Just whichever one you want. Just summon a copy of a creature 4 mana. These are crazy. And finally, Gariel, Bolster of Souls. 3 mana cost, 2/3 Aether creature. Ability, double the strength and health of a friendly creature. Just double it. Just fucking double it. I mean, these are insane. Granted, these are legendary drops, but any of these cards are fucking bananas. Like, I mean, God forbid if someone gets Gariel, Bolster of Souls, and Dolvaz, Omen of Ill Will in the same thing, because you can drop both of them on one turn. 3/3, you get up to 6 mana. You got Dolvaz, Omen of Ill Will, Gariel, Bolster of Souls, use her ability, double his strength to 2/2. End of the turn, he's got 4/4. Then you do it again, double, then it doubles again. So you, in what, 2-3 turns, you have a 16/16 creature on the board, I think, if I'm doing my math right, between these two cards. What is this? I don't know. I mean, some of these neutral cards are fucking busted. And I'm just, I don't know, man. I'm curious to see how things work out with some of these. You know, if anybody gets these neutral cards, even one of them, the Pools of Nemesis, summon a copy of the creature. That's bananas. Dolvaz, Omen of Ill Will, bananas. Gariel, Bolster of Souls, bananas. And these are not high mana cost creatures. These are 4 mana cost, 3 mana cost, 3 mana cost. You know, even Helmna, the Spear of Life, is 7 mana. You know, like most games get to 7 mana. Most games get to 7 mana. It's just crazy. This has been part 2, you guys, of my video. I'd be curious to hear what are your guys' comments, or rather your thoughts down in the comments. I mean, what do you think of some of these cards? What are your favorites? Have you, you know, this is part 2, so the expansion rather has dropped already. Have you had the opportunity to play some of these? I'd love, like I said, to hear everybody's thoughts. And yeah, I just, man, I just do not know how things are gonna change. I feel like this expansion is gonna completely change the game, and we'll kind of see what the fallout is over the next couple of weeks. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to do things right, like, subscribe, all this stuff, and don't forget to game it till you make it. We'll catch you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.